Okay, we're back on the record in cause number 327044. The court has before it a motion to forfeit the weapon. And in this case, the case is style of State of Texas versus Cynthia Proctor. Ms. Proctor, you've already previously been sworn in. Ms. Proctor, do you recognize this document?
Yes,
And is this your signature on this document?
yes,
Now, prior to signing an initial in this document, did your attorney go over this document with you?
yes,
And did you read and understand everything in this document?
yes,
And is everything in this document true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
yes.
And just for the record, this document is a motion to forfeit the weapon. Okay, Ms. Proctor, I will grant this motion to forfeit the weapon in clause number 327044. And as previously stated, the case in clause number 327044 will be dismissed pursuant to a plea bargain in clause number 326198. Ms. Proctor, please stand on the X next to your attorney and follow the directions of the court clerk. Ms. Proctor, once you finish in here, the clerk will tell you where you need to go, and this will conclude your cases, and you have a blessed day.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, one other case, Garcia.
We're on the record in cause number 326946. The case is style of State of Texas versus Neftali Garcia. Mr. Garcia, is that your full name?
Yes, sir.
How you doing, Mr. Garcia? That's good. Mr. Garcia, you're here represented by your attorney, Mr. Ryan Matuska. Mr. Matuska, do you have an announcement that you'd like to make for Mr. Garcia?
Yes, sir.
What is your announcement?
Your Honor, we have we reached a plea bargain agreement, but I'm asking the court if we could have one more reset for 30 days. There's one issue that we need to iron out, but it looks like we can set for plea.
Okay, so we'll set it for plea in 30 days.
June 21st.
Okay, it's gonna be reset to June 21st. Mr. Matuska, you get your reset. Once you get your reset, I think this will conclude your cases. You'll be free to go.
Yes, sir.
And Mr. Garcia, once you get your reset from your attorney, you'll be free to go as well. And both you and your attorney, both of y'all have blessed days. We have next.
Mr. Parrott has,
Who's that?
Joshua Ramirez.
Ramirez? Okay. Once you get Mr. Ramirez. We're on the record in cause number 320812. The case is style State of Texas versus Joshua Salvador Ramirez. Mr. Ramirez, would you please raise your right hand? Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth to help you God?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you may put your hand down. How are you doing, Mr. Ramirez? You doing fine?
I'm good, sir.
You good? That's
Yes,
good. Mr. Ramirez, you are represented here by your attorney, Mr. James Paget. Mr. Paget, how are you doing?
Doing well, Your Honor.
That's good. Mr. Ramirez, I have before me the information which alleges that on or about March 1st of 2018, while you're in Jefferson County, Texas, that you committed the Class B misdemeanor offense of possession of marijuana. Mr. Ramirez, to this charge, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
Guilty.
Now, are you pleading guilty freely and voluntarily?
Yes, sir.
And are you pleading guilty because you're guilty?
Yes.
Okay, Mr. Ramirez, I have before me a document that is titled the Misdemeanor Plea Admonishment. You recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
And on page 2 of the same document, right, he put his signature there. He put his initials. Okay, Mr. Ramirez, I have on State's Exhibit number 1 on page 2 of this document, there are some initials on the line that states, that's next to a box that's checked guilty. Are these your initials?
Yes, sir.
And on page 3 of the same document, Mr. Ramirez, is this your signature above the line that says defendant?
Yes, sir.
And on the next document, which is trial court certification of defendant's right of appeal, Mr. Ramirez, is this your signature? Well, first of all, do you recognize this document?
Yes.
And is this your signature above the line that says defendant?
Yes, sir.
All right. Now, you have that discovery certification.
I do, Your Honor.
Okay, Mr. Ramirez, I have before me a document that is titled Discovery Certification. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
And is this your signature on the second line,
Yes, sir.
above the line that says defendant? Now, Mr. Ramirez, prior to signing and initialing these documents, did your attorney, Mr. Paget, go over these documents with you?
Oh, yes, sir.
And did you read and understand everything in these documents?
Yes,
And
sir.
is everything in this document true and correct
Yes, sir.
to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, sir.
State, I have before me State's Exhibit number 1. State, you like to offer State's Exhibit number 1?
Yes, Your Honor.
No objections to stage 1. Your Honor.
Okay, no objection. State's Exhibit number 1 will be admitted. Mr. Paget, you have advised and counseled Mr. Ramirez.
Yes, Your Honor.
Is there any evidence that he is currently mentally incompetent to stand trial?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Ramirez, your attorney, Mr. Paget, has advised and counseled you. Are you satisfied with his representation?
Yes, sir.
Has he provided full, effective, and competent legal representation?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Mr. Ramirez, are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Mr. Ramirez, I will accept your plea of guilty. I will find that you are mentally competent to stand trial. I will also find that your plea of guilty and waivers was freely and voluntarily given. I will also find that there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. State, do we have a plea bargain agreement?
Yes, Your Honor, it's for a $500 fine plus court costs and 2 days jail credit.
Yeah, that's it. Okay, thank you. Mr. Ramirez. It's not here, okay. The state is offering that you pay a fine of $500 plus court costs. And the court cost is $337, so your total fine and court cost is $837. You will also be given 2 days credit at $100 per day toward your fine and court costs. And so, in essence, you'll be paying $637 instead of the $837. Will you be able to pay that today?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Mr. Ramirez, do you understand the state's offer?
Yes, sir.
Do you think that the state's offer in your case is fair and just?
Yes, sir.
And do you accept the state's offer?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Mr. Ramirez, I will follow the plea bargain agreement that you've entered into with the state. Please stand on the X. You're gonna follow the directions of the clerk, and she'll tell you what you need to do. And once she gives you those instructions, you'll be free to go. And your attorney will tell you what you need to do as well.
Yes, sir.
You have a blessed day.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Mr. Paget, is this your last case?
Your Honor, no, I have another one that's down in drug impact court right now. I just have to go down.
Okay.
there
Okay.
a little more tomorrow.
Okay.
The other one's in drug impact.
The answer is
Okay.
Is it Hampton?
Rubber Hampton.
No, I'm mistaken,
Okay.
Your Honor. It's Frederick Hampton. He's not in drug impact court. He was in criminal justice court, but I think.
It's fine and court costs waived.
We're getting him.
You just have fine waived. Yeah. And because she's indigent. You say the defendant is found indigent, fine and court costs waived. Yeah, put on the judgment, yeah. And that's, you can put the article too, Article 42.15 CCP. Yeah, the CCP, Code of Criminal Procedure, that's what CCP. We're on the record in clause number 326234. The case is styled the state of Texas versus Brandon Joseph Robeson. Is that your full name?
Yes, sir.
How you doing, Mr. Robeson?
I'm doing good. And you?
I'm doing fine. Thanks for asking. Mr. Robeson, you're here represented by your attorney, Mr. Antoine Freeman. The case is on the court's trial docket. Mr. Freeman, you have an announcement.
Your Honor, we're still ready for trial.
You ready to state?
Ready, Your Honor.
Okay. Okay, just have a seat in the hallway. Mr. Robeson, we'll come back with you.
Your Honor, Mr. Hampton was in the hallway sitting out there.
Oh, is he here?
He is, but they reset his felony. I mean, I don't know.
Why don't you come on up?
I thought it was on today's docket. My reset says today's docket, but the doors are locked with the criminal district court.
They made it reset it.
Well, I mean, they've been locked since this morning. I don't know whether the judge canceled his docket.
It looks like his felony was reset to June 8th, according to my docket sheet, Your Honor.
And I did not receive notice of that. So,
Okay, that's Mr. Hampton.
that's correct, Your Honor.
And your name is Frederick Hampton, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
How you doing, Mr. Hampton?
All right.
That's good, Mr. Hampton. Mr. Paget, you can get your case reset. I see here is June 8th, is that correct?
That's what Mr. Ramos just said.
I was like, okay, the felony case. You want it set on the same day or
That
different day?
would work for me. Same day works.
Okay,
best.
you can get your reset. Once you get your reset, Mr. Paget, you'll be free to go and you have a blessed
Thank
day.
you, Your Honor.
And Mr. Hampton, once your attorney give you reset, you'll be free to go as well and you have a blessed day.
Okay, thank you.
We're on the record in two cases. First case is cause number 327-452. Second case is cause number 327-456. Both cases are style of state of Texas versus Gavin Christopher Belton. Is that your full name?
Yes, sir.
How you doing, Mr. Belton?
I'm all right, you, sir?
I'm doing fine, thanks, Fax. Mr. Belton, would you please raise your right hand? Mr. Belton, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth to help you God?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Mr. Belton, you may put your hand down. No, Fax, how are you doing? You doing all right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Mr. Belton, you're here represented by your attorney, Mr. Charles Rojas. Mr. Rojas, how are you doing?
I'm doing well, Your Honor, thank you.
That's good, Mr. Rojas. Mr. Belton's case is a possession of a dangerous drug, and in the information alleges, Mr. Belton, that on or about January 1st of 2020, while you were in Jefferson County, Texas, that you committed the Class A misdemeanor offense of possession of a dangerous drug. Mr. Belton, do you understand what you've been charged with?
Yes, sir.
And to this charge, Mr. Belton, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, no contest?
Guilty.
Now, you're pleading guilty freely and voluntarily?
Yes, sir.
And are you pleading guilty because you are guilty?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Belton, I have before me a document that is titled Misdemeanor Plea Admonishment. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
And on page 2 of the same document, Mr. Belton, are these your initials on the line that says guilty?
Yes, sir.
And on the 3rd page of this document, Mr. Belton, is that your signature above the line that says defendant?
Yes, sir.
And on the next document, which is the trial court certification of defendant's right of appeal, Mr. Belton, do you recognize this document?
Yes,
And is that your signature above the line that says defendant?
yes,
There are two boxes that's checked at the top of this document. The first box states that this is a plea bargain case and you have no right of appeal. Do you understand that?
yes, sir.
The second box states that you're waiving, which means you're giving up your right to an appeal. Do you understand that?
What do you mean, do I understand it though?
Do you understand that you are waiving your right to appeal?
What does that mean?
Okay. Okay, waiving your right to appeal means that you are giving up your right to appeal this case. Do you understand that?
What does appeal mean?
Okay, let me give you some time, a few minutes to talk to your attorney. He could explain it to you. Do this again. So, Mr. Belton, the second box states that you're waiving, which means you're giving up your right to an appeal. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Mr. Belton, I also have a document here, another document that is titled the Discovery Certification. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
Is that your signature on this document?
Yes, sir.
Now, Mr. Belton, prior to signing and initialing these documents, did your attorney, Mr. Rojas, go over these documents with you?
Yes, sir.
And did you read and understand everything in these documents?
A little bit.
Okay. Okay, Mr. Belton, I'm gonna give you a few minutes to sit down with your attorney so that you can read these documents. We'll be in recess. Here you go, Mr.
I'll grab one.
You can use, it's already open,
Okay. I'll
and
do
so
that.
you can, tab down. and
Okay,
grab it.
I'll grab it.
Yeah, okay. Now, we're back on the record in clause number 327452 in the case of style of State of Texas versus Gavin Christopher Belton. Now, Mr. Belton, before the court went into recess to give you an opportunity to read and the documents, Mr. Belton, do you recognize these documents?
Yes, sir.
Now, Mr. Belton, prior to signing and initialing these documents, did you have an opportunity to read the documents?
Yes, sir.
And did you read the documents?
Yes, sir.
Did your attorney go over these documents with you?
Yes, sir.
And did you understand everything in these documents?
Yes, sir.
And is everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge? Is everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge? State, I have before me State's Exhibit number 1. State, you like to offer one?
Yes, Your Honor.
No objection.
Okay, no objection. State's Exhibit number 1 will be admitted. Mr. Rojas, you've advised and counseled Mr. Belton. Is there any evidence that he is currently mentally incompetent to stand trial?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Belton, your attorney, Mr. Rojas, has advised and counseled you. Are you satisfied with his representation?
Yes, sir.
Has he provided full, effective, and competent legal representation?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Mr. Belton, I will accept your plea of guilty. I will find that you are mentally competent to stand trial. I will also find that your pleas and waivers were freely and voluntarily given. And I will also find that there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. State, do we have a plea bargain agreement?
Yes, Your Honor. It's for 18 months deferred probation, a $750 fine, 80 hours community service, the drug and alcohol assessment, and dismissal of cause number 327456.
You have a copy of that judgment? Okay. Just have a seat for a minute. We'll call you back up. Yeah, just sit in the gallery. That's it?
No,
Okay.
that's her.
go tomorrow.
Well, you said, okay. We on the record in cause number 326-234, State of Texas versus Brandon Joseph Robeson. Mr. Bailiff, just get Mr. Robeson in here.
It wasn't like that, Your Honor. I'm supposed to sit on the municipal court bench tomorrow at 1:30.
Okay.
So I was just trying to see if I was in fact going, or do I need to call them?
Well, I don't, you number 3, and
Let
then,
them know, because if I cancel tomorrow and I don't go today, that means all those.
yeah, I mean, but right, you just number 3. I mean, number 1 is going, number 2, we won't know anything until tomorrow. I mean, you number 3.
Yeah.
You know, and then the number
That's
1,
close
the
enough.
number 1 guy say he's going. Crippen, for my understanding, Crippen is going, and then, right? I don't,
I mean, I would hate to.
yeah, I understand, but I mean, right now, we have, you at 3. If that changes, we probably won't know anything till tomorrow, and then Rife has number 4 as well.
Yeah, but when we know tomorrow, it'd be kind of late for me to.
Yeah, but I can't, right now, you just said number 3. That's all I can let you know. And if that changes during the day, we'll call you.
Okay.
Okay, but for right now, the court's orders, you number 3 on, and look like the number 1 case is going. We hadn't heard anything else from Mr.
It's easy for three
Gilthorpe
go at once,
as to him wanting to, you know,
You want to ask for continuance?
Now, I think Mr. Wilson wants to continue, if I was on this case before I was committed to that, so.
yeah. So just we'll see. Also, you at number 3 right now.
Okay.
If it changes, we'll let you know.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
All right. And you're excused. Yeah, you can, y'all can, if you're on the trial docket, we have our trial order. You and your client are excused.
Thank you.
Y'all have a blessed day. We have, like Ms. Ferrazzo is gonna be number 5. Mathias. Okay, Mr. Belton. Mr. Belton, come back up. Okay, we're back on the record and cause number 327452. And Mr. Belton, the state is offering that you be placed on deferred adjudicated probation for a period of 18 months. During this 18-month probationary period, you'll be required to pay a fine of $750 plus court costs, and that comes to a total fine and court costs of $1,137. And you will also be required to I forgot. Okay. You also, hold on a minute. This. Okay. You'll also be required to, let's see. Okay, you'll be required to reimburse the county $100 for the crime lab, and you have a probation fee of $0?
Huh?
Oh, no. Yeah, your probation fee is gonna be $60 per month. And you'll be required to pay the urinalysis fee of $15 each month. $15 each month for urinalysis fee.
So 75?
No, we'll tell you what you told them. Just have a
Oh,
seat.
okay.
You gotta add in the $60. We're on the record in cause number 327-012. The case is styled the state of Texas versus Kendrick Jamal Booker. Mr. Booker, how are you doing? I'm doing fine. Mr. Booker, you're here represented by your attorney, Miss Carolyn Wiedenfield. Miss Wiedenfield, how are you doing?
I'm doing well, sir. How are you?
I'm doing fine. Thanks for asking. Miss Wiedenfield, do you have an announcement you'd like to make in Mr. Booker's case?
He has a felony down the hall and related.
Okay.
So, we'd like to reset. I'd really like it to the same day.
Do y'all have a court date on that yet?
Tell me June 1st, June.
Okay, we're gonna reset it to the same day your felony, which is June 1st of 2021. Ms. Wiedenfield, you can get your reset. Once you get your reset, you'll be free to go and you have a blessed day. And Mr. Booker, once your attorney give you a reset, you'll be free to go as well and you have a blessed day. Okay. Mr. Gavin Belton, you come back up. Okay, we're back on the record in cause number 327452. The case is styled of State of Texas versus Gavin Christopher Belton. Mr. Belton, the state is offering in your case that you serve 18 months deferred adjudicated probation. During the 18-month probationary period, you'll be required to pay a fine of $750 and court costs, which comes to a total fine and court costs of $1,137. You'll also be required to pay a $100 fee to reimburse the crime lab, and you'll be required to pay a $60 each month probation fee and a $15 monthly each month your analysis fee. And the total amount that you would have to pay each month on this case is $145. Would you be able to pay the $145 per month? You have to speak up.
Yes, sir.
And you'll also be required to perform 80 hours of community service. You'll be required to attend the drug and alcohol assessment classes. And you will also have to adhere to the other standard terms and conditions of your probation. And the state will be dismissing cause number 327456. Mr. Belton, do you understand the state's offer? And do you accept the state's offer? Okay, Mr. Belton, I'll follow the plea bargaining agreement that you have entered into in this case. Mr. Belton, uh, please stand on the X and you will follow the directions of our court clerk. And once you finish, she'll tell you what you need to do. And once you finish in this court, you'll be free to go and you have a blessed day.
Thank you, Judge. You said sign?
And you have a blessed day as well, Mr. Rojas. And I'm signing the dismissal. You'll be able to get a copy of the dismissal before you leave.
Can I use your tablet? We're short tablets in this court. Julie, I don't know if you got. Oh, that's right.
Mr. Matuska still there?
He just walked out.
Okay, I have a dismissal. Which one?
Delton. The night just like this girl on the tab. It was on there.
I signed it.
Been doing a lot of. Okay, Miss
Did she do something to reset it?
It was.
She's in Belton. She's typing up something for Belton right now. She said it's gone from the tablet.
Yeah, I had done her. No, she didn't do it. It was on here. And I was on. Okay, Mr. Delton.
You won't see it. Yeah.
We're on the record in cause number 320760. State, the case is styled the state of Texas versus Gregory Jackson. Mr. Jackson, would you please come forward? Okay, your full name is Gregory Jerome Jackson?
Yes, sir.
How you doing, Mr. Jackson?
Doing pretty good today, sir.
That's good, Mr. Jackson. Your case is set on our announcement docket. I'm looking at a note on the docket sheet. States that, I guess you appeared March 8th of 2021, and at that time you stated that you want to hire an attorney.
Yes, sir, but, some things that happened and I didn't have a chance to get one. So I was trying to see if I can get a code upon the law.
Okay. There's a form that's before you. That form is called the Judge's Explanation of Rights. We went over that form the first time, is that correct? So
Yes,
you
sir.
just need to make your change. I think the first time, at the bottom where it says defendant's choice, you had put your initials on the first line, which is you wanted to reset your case. But now you say you want to apply for court appointed counsel.
Yes, sir.
So you need to put your initials on the third line, sign it and date it. And you can take that document, you can go have a seat and just, where can he sit? You got a clipboard? Yeah.
Go ahead and send that with it.
Yeah, and yeah, you're gonna take that financial sheet with you too, and you need to
Okay.
fill that financial sheet out.
Okay, thank you.
We're on the record in call number 325084. Case is styled the state of Texas versus Crystal Louise Jordan. Is there any way we can check to see if she got bond conditions? Not bond conditions, but judge's explanation. She's on page 2, fourth from the bottom. Crystal, we're on the record in calls number 325084. The case is styled the state of Texas versus Crystal Louise Jordan. Is that your full name?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now Ms. Jordan, how are you doing?
Good, how are you?
I'm doing fine. Ms. Jordan, she filled one out before?
She said she wanted to apply for a court appointed attorney, but that was last year, Judge, in October of 2020.
Is there a financial sheet in there? Well, she needs to fill out a financial, no, let me do this here before we go any further. Now, Ms. Jordan, what date was that?
October 2nd of 2020.
Okay, on October 2nd of 2020, in your judge's explanation, you stated that you wanted to apply for court-appointed counsel. Is that correct?
It was, yes, sir.
Is that still your desire?
I prefer to find the proper attorney.
You want to hire an attorney? That's what you're saying? Okay, so she needs to fill that form out stating that she wants to hire. Just have a seat, and you got to go. Now, we went over that document. Is that correct?
Yes, we did.
You understood everything that we went over?
Yes, sir.
All right, just put your initials on the line stating that you wanted your case reset to hire your own attorney. It should be the first line at the bottom, and you're gonna sign it and put today's date. And once you finish doing that, you're gonna stand, today is May 3rd, 2021. Stand on that X in front of the court coordinator. She's gonna reset your case. Once you reset your case, you'll be free to go. How much time do you need to hire your attorney? Okay, give her 30. you can get at her. We're on the record in cause number 326996, the case is style of state of Texas versus Glenn Paul Ballard. Put your mask over your mouth and your nose. Okay, we on the record in cause number 326996, the case is style of state of Texas versus Glenn Paul Ballard. Mr. Ballard, is that your full name?
Yes.
How you doing, Mr. Ballard?
I'm doing great, thanks for asking.
That's good. Mr. Ballard, the last time you was here on March 8th of 2021, you stated that you like to hire your own attorney, is that correct?
Yes.
And have you hired that attorney?
No, I haven't. I got laid off work right a week after. I was in here last, haven't been able to get reemployed.
Okay, now, Mr. Ballard, in the, you remember the judge's explanation of rights to defendants without an attorney?
I do.
And now, would you like to change your choice?
Yes.
And what would you like to,
Court appointed.
you want to see if you qualify for court appointment? You're gonna have to let him fill out one of those forms. You're gonna change your choice on there, and you're gonna fill out a questionnaire.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, you're welcome. Just have a seat.
Have a great day.
Same to you.
Thank you.
We're in the record in two cases, cause number 324484 and cause number 324486. Both cases are style of state of Texas versus Jason Rashad Dunmore. Mr. Dunmore, would you come forward? Mr. Dunmore, your full name is Jason Rashad Dunmore?
Yes, sir.
How you doing, Mr. Dunmore?
I'm okay.
That's good. I see a note here that says he entered the BIP program and.
Yes, Your Honor, and I don't see that any violations have been entered in for him, so I believe he's still in the BIP program.
Yeah, I'm waiting on some of the paperwork over to y'all. I'm done with everything they asked me to do.
Oh, you
Okay.
completed the BIP program?
Yes, sir.
If you want to wait around for about 5 minutes, I can run upstairs and see if they've received it, so we can get you fully done with your case today, if you like.
Okay, just have a seat.
And may I be excused to go
Yes.
upstairs?
Okay. Gonzalez. That's 325475. 32.
No, we just need an judge with y'all for it.
Okay, whose phone? You need to turn that off.
Not me.
Yeah, that's your client. Okay.
I left mine in the car. The young lady made a recommendation.
Okay, we're gonna have to, is that Mr. Van? He needs to come back in.
Right, yes. He was the one with the phone, he's right outside. I'm gonna get the young lady. Oh, there she is. Hi.
Oh, that's supposed to be a plea. Okay.
You gave me that recommendation.
Did we find out what happened with those cases?
Let me see my briefcase.
Okay. Okay, we're on the record in cause number 325-474. The case is styled the state of Texas versus Jamie Lee Gonzalez. Ms. Gonzalez? For the record, is your name Jamie Lee Gonzalez?
Yes, sir.
How you doing, Ms. Gonzalez?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing fine, thanks for asking. Ms. Gonzalez, would you please raise your right hand? Ms. Gonzalez, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Ms. Gonzalez, you may put your hand down. Ms. Gonzalez, the information in this case alleges that on or about November 30th of 2019, while you were in Jefferson County, Texas, that you committed the Class B misdemeanor offense of theft. You understand what you've been charged with?
Yes, sir.
And to this charge, Ms. Gonzalez, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
I'm guilty.
Now, you're pleading guilty freely and voluntarily?
Yes, sir.
And are you pleading guilty because you're guilty?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Ms. Gonzalez, I'm gonna show you what has been marked as State's Exhibit number 1. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
On page 2 of the same document, Ms. Gonzalez, are these your initials on
Yes, sir.
the line that says guilty?
Yes, sir.
And on page 3 of this same document, Ms. Gonzalez, is this your initial above the line that says defendant?
Yes, sir.
And on the next document, which is the trial court certification of defendant's right of appeal, Ms. Gonzalez, do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
And is this your signature above the line that says defendant?
Yes, sir.
There are 2 boxes checked at the top of this document. The first box states that this is a plea bargain case and you have no right of appeal. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
The second box states that you're waiving, which means you're giving up your right to appeal. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
You have the trial court certification, the defendant's, the discovery certification.
Behind you, right, on the front, to your left, right there, very front one.
Okay, back on the record in cause number, this is 325-474. Case of style of state of Texas versus Jamie Lee Gonzalez. Ms. Gonzalez, I have before me a document that is titled the Discovery Certification. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
And is this your signature on the line that says defendant?
Yes, sir.
Ms. Gonzalez, prior to signing and initialing all of these documents, did your attorney go over these documents with you?
Yes, sir.
And did you read and understand everything in these documents?
Yes, sir.
And is everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, sir.
State, I have before me State's Exhibit number 1. State, you like to offer State's 1?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, no objection. State's Exhibit number 1 will be admitted. Mr. Kimler, you've advised and counsel Ms. Gonzalez. Is there any evidence that she is currently mentally incompetent to stand trial?
No, Your Honor.
Ms. Gonzalez, the attorney has advised and counseled you. Are you satisfied with his representation?
Yes, sir.
Has he provided full, effective, and competent legal representation?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Ms. Gonzalez, I will accept your plea of guilty. I will find that you are mentally competent to stand trial. I will also find that your plea of guilty and waivers were freely and voluntarily given. I will also find that there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. State, do we have a plea bargain agreement?
Yes, Your Honor. It's for 9 months deferred probation, $100 fine, 50 hours community service, and a theft class. And that's to run concurrent with cause number 20-34488.
Ms. Gonzalez, the state is offering that you serve 9 months on deferred adjudication probation. During the 9-month probationary period, you'll be required to pay a fine of $100 plus court costs, and that comes to a total of it comes to a total of $392. You'll also be required to pay a probation fee of $60 each month and a urinalysis fee of $15 each month.
Your Honor, I think her probation fee, she's already paying one in the felony case.
Yeah.
Oh.
So probational,
Oh, we'll have to redo this. Okay.
well, I think you leave it on and then I think
Yeah, that's-
probation.
Oh, they'll take it off? Okay.
Yeah.
So, okay, let me
The only
repeat
thing
this.
that's gonna be consecutive would be the fine and the court costs. It's basically.
Okay, so Ms. Gonzalez, the state is offering that you serve 9 months deferred adjudicated probation. During this 9-month probationary period, you'll be required to pay a fine of $100 plus court costs of $292. That comes to a total of $392 per month. You will be required to pay a probation fee of $60 each month and a urinalysis fee of $15 each month. And now, this comes to a total of $125 per month. But it's my understanding that if you're already on probation, they're gonna deduct, you won't have to pay the probation fee in this case. So in essence, what I'm saying is your monthly installments will be reduced by $60. So it should be around $65 per month. Would you be able to pay that?
Absolutely, sir.
And you'll also be required to perform 50 hours of community service. And you'll also be required to attend the theft prevention class as a condition of probation. You'll also have to adhere to the other standard terms and conditions of your probation. And the state will be, this case will run concurrent with cause number 20-34488. Ms. Gonzalez, do you understand the state's offer?
Yes, sir.
Do you think that the state's offer in your case is fair and just?
Yes, sir.
And do you accept the state's offer?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Mr. Gonzalez, I will follow the plea bargaining agreement that you have entered into with the state. Mr. Gonzalez, if you successfully complete this deferred probation, this case will be dismissed. It will not appear in your record as a conviction, and you may qualify for a non-disclosure. You can talk to your attorney about that.
Okay.
Ms. Gonzalez, stand on the X, follow the directions, the X near your attorney, and follow the directions of our court clerk. And this X right here. And once you finish following the directions of the clerk, you'll be free to go, and you have a blessed day.
Thank you as well.
And Mr. Kimler,
We have Jim Martin left, Your Honor, she's outside,
okay, you can call her in,
Right thumbprint on the blue light.
Kimberly Martin.
Kimberly Barton. That was
Your
number
Honor.
2.
While we're waiting for Ms. Barton to come in, I could not check on Mr. Dunmore's stuff due to it being lunchtime. No one's gonna be at the probation office.
Okay.
If he did complete everything, I can sign a dismissal later, but right now I can't check on it.
Okay.
Hold on, tight.
On the record in cause number 327556, the case is style, the state of Texas versus Kimberly Michelle Barton. Is that your full name?
Yes, sir.
How you doing, Ms. Barton?
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm doing fine. Thanks for asking, Ms. Barton. Your case is set on the trial docket, and you are here represented by your attorney, Mr. Kimberly. Mr. Kimberly, you have are you ready for this case?
Ready?
Okay, you'll be the number 3 case.
You want her back in the morning?
Well, not really. I mean, we have a number 1. You have 2 cases before you. So if,
Be available.
yeah, just be available.
Be available for the judge.
We wouldn't be picking till 1:30.
1:30, yeah.
Yeah.
Just be available tomorrow. I need you in case you be up there. All right?
Okay, y'all free, you're free to go. This,
I can't stay no longer.
okay,
I'm hurt.
you can have, Mr. Dunmore, just stand over there on the X. Your case is gonna get reset. If you're, when you get the necessary paperwork, they're gonna dismiss your case.
Yeah.
Okay, so,
Just be in contact with your bondsman. He'll
yeah,
know
just stay in
if-
contact with your bondsman. Just reset him a standard 30 days. Okay, oh, here we go. Van Wright is back on the docket.
It had moved to save documents, and so I was able to find it and move it back.
Okay, Mr., what you need, Mr. Van Wright?
I just need to be able to sign.
Oh, you need to, oh, here, you can sign it on this document. Mr. Van Wright, you can come forward. It's signed on my document.
It is, okay.
Yeah.
It's not perfect.
Oh, no, okay. Okay, we're on the record in cause number 324540. The case is style. Case is style, the state of Texas versus John Stanley Van Wright. Mr. Van Wright, would you please raise your right hand? Mr. Van Wright, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth to help you God?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Mr. Van Wright, you may put your hand down. How you doing, Mr. Van Wright?
Partly cloudy, you?
Well, I'm doing fine. Hadn't heard that statement in a state in a while.
Baby.
They used to say partly cloudy, fair to Midland.
Yes, Captain Whitler.
That's what they used to say. But anyway, Mr. Van Wright, the information in this case alleges that on or about March 18th of 20, that that door is closed, Mr. Dunmore? Gotta go to other. Okay, so Mr. Van Wright, the information in this case alleges that on or before March 18th of 2018, while you were in Jefferson County, Texas, that you committed the Class B misdemeanor offense of driving while intoxicated while you were operating a motor vehicle in a public place in Jefferson County, Texas. Mr. Van Wright, do you understand what you've been charged with?
Yes, sir, I do.
And to this charge, Mr. Van Wright, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest.
Now, are you pleading no contest freely and voluntarily?
Yes, sir, I am.
And are you pleading no contest because you do not wish to fight or contest the charges?
That's correct, yes, sir.
Now, Mr. Van Wright, I have before me a document that is titled the Misdemeanor Plea Admonishments. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir, I do.
And it's also labeled as State's Exhibit Number 1. Are these your initials on the second page of this document, a line that says Nola Continuing?
Yes, sir.
On the third page of this document, Mr. Van Wright, is this your signature above the line that says defendant?
Yes, sir.
And on the next document, which is a trial court certification of defendant's right of appeal, Mr. Van Wright, do you recognize this document?
I do, yes, sir.
And is this your signature above the line that says defendant?
It is.
And there are 2 boxes checked at the top of this document. The first box states that this is a plea bargain case, and you have no right of appeal. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
The second box states that you are waiving, which means you're giving up your right to the appeal. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now, do we have the discovery certification?
I don't have it.
I have this form, but I don't have the.
Oh, you have to fill out.
I'll sign
Okay, Mr. Van Wright, I have a document before me that is titled Discovery Certification. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
Now, Mr. Van Wright, is this your signature at the bottom of this document, well, above the line that says
Yes, sir,
defendant?
it is.
Now, Mr. Van Wright, prior to signing and initialing these documents that you have said that you signed and initialed, did your attorney go over these documents with you?
Yes, sir, she did.
And did you read and understand everything in these documents?
Yes, sir, I did.
And is everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, sir.
State, I have before me state's exhibit number 1, and you have state's exhibit number 2.
Yes, Your Honor.
You like to offer states 1 and 2?
Yes, Your Honor.
Any objection,
No
Miss?
objection.
No objection, Ms. Morrison. States exhibits number 1 and 2 are admitted. Ms. Morrison, you've advised and counseled Mr. Van Wright. Is there any evidence that he is currently mentally incompetent to stand trial?
He is competent.
Mr. Van Wright, your attorney, Ms. Morrison, has advised and counseled you. Are you satisfied with her representation?
Yes, sir, I am.
Has she provided full, effective, and competent legal representation?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Van Wright, I will accept your plea of no contest. I will find that you are mentally competent to stand trial. I will also find that your plea of no contest and waivers were freely and voluntarily given. I will also find that there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. State, do we have a plea bargain agreement?
Yes, Your Honor. It's for 6 months deferred probation,
Okay, 6 months,
$500 fine,
$500 fine plus cost,
60 hours community service,
6 hours community service,
drug and alcohol assessment,
okay, drug and alcohol,
and the DWI education course.
DWI. Ed. Now, this is a DWI class, a DWI offense, and in order to get deferred adjudication, it must be a interlock device. I think that's pursuant to Article 42A 4 or something. Here it is. Yeah, that's pursuant to Article 42A 4(8), subsection E1. Judge granting, yeah, the interlock device is required. Now, if the court is not going to follow the plea bargain agreement without an interlock device, if the defendant wants to withdraw his plea, then the court can allow him to withdraw his plea because the court is not following the plea bargain agreement without an interlock device.
He has an over-the-road truck driving position, Your Honor. That's your job.
I understand, but I'm just saying that
I'm just
on
gonna
a
explain to you.
deferred is required to have a interlock device.
Yeah,
So the court is not going to follow plea bargain agreement in this case without an interlock device.
you'll do the law.
sorry, Ms. Morrison, does he have a commercial driver's license?
I beg your pardon?
Oh, he
Can
can't
we
get
take a
deferred
brief
either.
Recess because
I'm leaving. I'm
We
tired
can't-
of here.
Oh, yeah, I'm just saying, that's what the
That's
law
law.
is, if he has a commercial driver's license. Yeah, he's not allowed to, the court cannot give a deferred adjudication.
I heard what you said, man.
Yeah, so the court can't follow this plea bargain agreement. Okay, so what we can do is, like I say, you can withdraw his plea. Well, the court is not gonna go along with it. And so, we can
That's
reset
pretty
this case that,
unusual, but I
we
have
can-
no control of the court.
I know, I'm saying we can reset this case, give you more time to, maybe at a later point, to continue your negotiations with the district attorney's office.
It's truly unusual. It ain't gonna change it. It's not changing the current thing. You will not have a job.
I understand, but, we can't give deferred on a,
when
on the commercial driver's license.
yeah, when the legislature created the deferred, they didn't allow it for commercial driver's license.
Yeah, so that's not
And
discretionary.
that's understandable because they're gonna know why. They already know why. That goes without saying.
May I say something, please, John?
But you can talk to your attorney first before you
can't talk.
make any comments. Okay, so at this time, the court is not
You
following
say
this plea
something
bargain agreement,
before.
and, y'all have to continue your negotiation. All right, let's see what they say.
I don't feel comfortable in, continuing this.
Okay, so we're gonna, the court is going to allow the defendant to withdraw, well, the court is not gonna follow the plea bargain agreement. The court is gonna allow the defendant to withdraw his plea, and this case is gonna be reset. How much time do y'all need?
I just need another week, I believe, Your Honor.
Well, let me give you 30 days.
Okay.
Would 30 days be better?
Yes, sir, because I gotta get on the road.
Oh, okay.
That's the problem, see.
I understand. We're gonna reset it. We'll reset it for 30 days. All right, you can get your reset, Ms. Morrison, and you and your client will be free to go. And y'all have a blessed day.
Thank you, sir.
Listen,